Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again, outside the gym, inside the car, about to go in and hit some bench. So we deadlifted yesterday and it felt pretty good, and today it should feel pretty good as well too. It's been pretty shitty here in Rhode Island. I'm sitting here listening to some 311 before I go in. A lot of you guys always comment on my music choices. I gotta say, I can't really take credit for too much of it, only because I just listen to Sirius XM and I flip around from a lot of different stations. So this particular station is the Lithium one, so a lot of grunge type, you know, think of 90s Seattle, even though 311 I think is Nebraska, isn't it? Omaha, it's one of their albums. I don't know, I'm dating myself. But anyways, I like kind of just sitting here and talking a little bit before I go into the gym, get out all my jimmies. Not literally, more figuratively speaking, because people probably wouldn't appreciate me whipping out my jimmy in the car. But what I'm talking about is getting out whatever is bothering me, so to say, on my mind, talking about it before going to the gym. Usually helps clear my mind a little bit and really focus on the training session at hand. Now, for this, going to be a rep day today, and I'm going to kind of fill you guys more in on the training program I'm going on to right now. So not working with Silent Mike anymore, although I think he's working with Omar Esoff. They're going to be coming out with a great series, so that should be pretty cool to see. Two of my good friends here on YouTube. And speaking of other friends, one of the things I wanted to share with you also is I had somebody reach out to me and send me some drawings that they did of myself, and I posted it on Facebook and I posted it on Instagram. I think I posted it on Twitter as well, so I want to go ahead and show those on screen right now and give a shout out to Juan. So big thank you to you. He does this for his living, or at least he's trying to. So if you guys are interested in getting any of these cartoon type work done, maybe for someone's birthday or just of yourself for fun, maybe for your banner on YouTube, whatever it may be, I'm going to put his info in the description box below if you're interested in contacting him. Again, big thanks to him, even though he made me look really old, even older than I feel, but still brought the lols, which is the most important thing. So enough rambling. That's about 2 minutes in, and that's all I'm good for. So I got to get in and do some real work. We'll see you inside. All right, so for bench day today, the goal was to get 3 sets of 8 reps for 230 pounds. And again, for this, the weight isn't exactly what it would normally be for me, but because I'm coming off of an injury with my hip and some time away from the gym, I have significantly dropped all of my maxes. So I think this weight is based off of an expected max of around 315 pounds or so. So going off of those percentages. And I think that's going to help me in the long run, just because I'm going to get a lot of work done, a lot of reps, which is good at a weight that I can still handle and get my form down. So for these, my plan going forward on this particular program is anytime I'm benching more than 5 reps for a competition style bench, I'm going to just do more of a touch and go and not pause, and that's what you're seeing here. However, I don't want to get to the point where I'm bouncing the bar off of my chest, so even though this is a bit faster, it's still very controlled, and I'm not using that momentum to basically break my sternum in half like you see so often. So the grip on these sets was pinky on the actual ring itself, and from there we then moved on to 3 sets of 10 for wide grip. So you can see here, I'm as wide as I can go. My hands are right against the safety pins here. And I went with paused ones on these just because I wanted to work on it. And I really felt that when I was working with Dan, these were a great assistance exercise for me, really going wide. Now for this, because I'm going so wide, one of the things you're gonna have to pay attention to if you try this yourself is you're not going to be able to tuck your elbows, so they're gonna be fairly flared out. So this will put a lot more stress on your shoulder. So just be ready for that. For these 3 sets and all the other work this day, I kept all the assistance work static in terms of weight. After those 3 sets, we moved on to 3 more sets of close grip. Decided to keep the weight at 205 in this case, the same that I used for wide grip. And again, dropped the weight probably about 10% from my working sets on the competition style, and by the 3rd set here I was getting pretty fatigued, but these still felt pretty good. And at this point I also had to move my elbows in significantly for tricep work. Finally, we finished off here with some dips, something I haven't done in a long time. Again, 3 sets of, in this case I think I did 12 just because we weren't using as much weight, but I had a really good contraction here in my chest, and I'm going to slowly build up on all of this assistance work that you saw today. All right, so we're back in my house, in a new room that you have yet to see, and it's in the office. So this is where the work actually does get done, even though I'd like to think it's more in the bathroom. I'm in my office right now, and it is very bare, so this tour isn't going to take you very long. But I also wanted to get your guys' input because I wanted to know what other things do you think I should get here, only because typically I haven't had this much space to myself. I was just using a side of my bedroom, so unfortunately you won't get any more of those sweet bed views, at least in this thing. If you subscribe to my other account, which is a pay site, you might get those views. But we're here looking for input. I need a new desk, probably a bigger desk. I need more stuff to make this more of a little bit of a man cave. Please input below. You know what I'm saying? So let me show you what I got here. So obviously I got my computer. This is just a 27-inch iMac with waterfalls apparently on the background, so that rotates every like 10 minutes or so. I got some little Bose speakers. These aren't anything overly powerful, but they still sound pretty good, and they were actually pretty cheap. I'm actually rocking too this wireless Mac keyboard and the trackpad, but it has this little thing I bought which combines both of them, so it's like an all-in-one keyboard. I have the wired keyboard too, which I really like because it has the actual numbers you can use on it. Let's do like the keypad. Still trying to get used to this, but it is what it is. I also have this little guy. Look at that. A little rhinoceros with my name on it. This is from my sister when she was stationed over in Djibouti, Africa. However, before you say anything, Djibouti is in East Africa, so not West Africa, so I'm not responsible for the Ebola outbreak, but that is there too. What you can also see are some of these lighting stands I have. I don't remember what brand these are, but one of the things I was thinking I could do for a future video, probably within the next week or so, is do kind of like a gear overview, so everything I use to shoot. So we have some lights here. We also have the Blue Yeti microphone. I have it on a mic stand just because it's easier. I had the stand that it came with and just had it on my desk, but it picked up a lot of vibrations from the Mac. Speaking of which, maybe I'll upgrade that too, because they just came out with that 5K display one, which looks pretty nice, and I am a Mac fan. I do like PCs as well. I have a PC laptop, so don't hate. I use both. I just prefer that for my workstation for videos. Coming over here, we have the sad little PS4 in the box on the ground. I have a TV for this room. However, right now it's in our bedroom because I have yet to mount the bigger TV on the wall in there. As you can see, the tissues in the background. So eventually I'll be bringing the TV in. I haven't been able to play that in about 2 weeks. I'm very, very sad. Have a printer down there, which I think works. I haven't really printed anything in a while, so I couldn't tell you. Have my work backpack there with all my stuff in it. Also have my Ray-Ban knee sleeves because I'll be using these today when I go squat in just a little bit, which you will see. However, I haven't used them in a while. I figured it's time to break them out. And I also got this in the mail yesterday, and I showed this on Instagram, so this is pretty cool. So this came in the mail as it gets out of focus, and I had no idea what it was. I opened it up. There was a nice letter in there from the VP Global Head of Content Operations from YouTube. Just a nice little letter saying congratulations. And I got my 100,000 subscriber silver play button. So that was pretty sweet. So this will probably be going up in here. And speaking of other stuff that I'll probably hang up in here, you guys remember those Modest Mouse posters from before, but also those pictures I showed you earlier. Maybe I'll go ahead and get those printed out and framed and put one of them up here just because it makes me laugh and I think I look really funny. Plus, I need some shit on here. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. What stuff is a must for this office? What should I prioritize? Should it be the computer? Should it be maybe new speakers? Maybe a better microphone? Because although that one right there, look at that fucking skill. Although that one right there is great, there are some better ones out there that I was thinking about upgrading. I've actually been thinking also about upgrading my camera at some point, going full frame. We'll see. That's very expensive, and buying this house and getting married and all this other stuff that I've been doing, I don't have a ton of money. I need some more Sony Action Cam ads to come along. They haven't. Also, maybe upgrading that tripod. That's the one I use now. One of you guys actually suggested this. This is like straight from China, straight off the boat. It was like $80, and it looks pretty nice, but I gotta tell you, I do not like it. I don't like these twist ones. I like the ones that have more of a clasp. And what I mean is, if you look at these lights, you can see here, the way you adjust these is you can just undo these clips and the poles move, and I'm all about those poles moving. I like tripods like that a little bit better. And maybe a better head on it, because it's all about the head here on Campbell Fitness. Again, which is perfect for those tissues, which are just there for some reason. I don't know why. By my computer. Let me get in some better lighting here. But that's that. So that's my office. Let me know what I need in here. What should I prioritize for upgrades? What should I get to make this more homely? And finally, let's go to pre-workout food and gym. A little bit of a brain fart there. I'll check you guys in just a second. All right, so I ended up skipping the filming of the pre-workout ritual, Pop-Tarts and pre-workout, you know how it goes. From there, we jumped into my strength day at the gym for squats, and yes, strength day and 365 pounds. For this, I'm going with an expected max rate now of 455. After I complete a cycle of this current training program, what I'll do is I'll reset my maxes to something a little bit more towards what they likely are, but again, really working on some things here. So for this, we did 5 sets of 3, and one of the cues I'm really trying to focus on today is working at breaking my hips first. Now, because of that, I'm slowing down things a bit on the actual descent of the motion, but that's okay. I felt like my depth here is pretty good in all sets. Looks a little weird here on this particular angle, but as you can tell, everything is a bit skewed, but really focusing on breaking at the hips. And for this, trying to tighten my glutes a little bit, because that's a cue that I've oftentimes heard, but when I break at the knees first, it's very hard for me to actually actively engage my glutes, probably because they're really non-existent for the most part, but these felt pretty good today, and the bar felt pretty explosive at the bottom, and you can also tell that I'm trying to do my best Nick Wright impression here by using those bumper plates. So this is only 365, and unfortunately, not 405. I'm on to you, Nick Wright. Coming for your bumper plate king title, man. But as you can see here, everything moved pretty well. Here's a good view of the depth. So my hips are breaking the crease here and getting below my knees, so I'm very happy about this. Again, it's kind of slow overall, but I'm really trying to focus here on form. Here's a really far away view so you get a total idea of what was going on. And of course, nobody else was squatting this particular day, nor are they hardly ever squatting in this gym, which is nice because I can always get a squat rack in. One of the things I'm also doing on these particular sets of squats is using a little bit narrower stance than I've been trying to do in the past. I've kind of made the decision, because I'm using ollie shoes and because I've been dealing with hip issues, I'm going to try to just use a little bit wider than shoulder width stance, and things felt really good today, so I think I'm going to stick with it. Also, really not worrying about where the bar is placed as long as it's on the meaty part of my rear delts, which I don't really have a problem on ever, because if I have one thing that's going for me, it's my delts are pretty meaty. Just wish I was meaty in other places, if you know what I'm saying. So after that, it was time to do some assistance work, so I moved on to 3 sets of 8 with front squats, and I used 185 pounds here. I did away with the bumper plates because homie don't play that, but I did 3 sets of 8 here, and these felt pretty good. Again, nothing heavy, but the goal here is to work towards more volume at this point while increasing the weight over the course of a few weeks. From here, I also did 2 other exercises. I did a superset of leg extensions and seated leg curls, 3 sets of 10 for each, and that was the leg day in total. And again, as I say so often, it felt pretty good.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Campbell Fitness, y'all. Back in the gym making gains.
Beyonce got a haircut today. So back in the kitchen, I guess. Stopped at Gansett Wraps, of course, so the new house is officially broken in. Got some Gansett Wraps. I'll show you what I'm getting, and I'm going to end the video because I'm hungry, and this video is kind of dragged on already. So if you made it to this point, congratulations. Beyonce.
No! I'm going to eat.
Will you be in a video at some point?
Sure.
Beyonce approves. So anyways, let me see how I can do this and show you what I got, if I can get this in focus. By the way, shout out to Michael Corey, all aboard the Gain Train. And why isn't this autofocusing? That there autofocus is no work. So what we got here, of course, see if you can see this. Bad planning on my part. Let's do manual focus. So what this is a chicken Gansett. Again, there's chicken in there, there's eggplant, there's falafel in this case, which is fried chickpeas if you haven't had it. There's lettuce, tomatoes, all sorts of good stuff in there. But highly recommend. So if you're ever in the South County area, so this one particularly is in Narragansett. They also have another store in Westerly, but it's called Pickpockets. And they have a couple other ones throughout the state, but those are the 2 best ones. So Westerly Pickpockets and Narragansett is Gansett Wraps. So definitely check it out. I'm gonna eat this. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.